Hey everybody, Mrs. Matz here. Would love to go over a review session with you guys on solving for X when we have problems like this. Okay, so here we have X squared equals 9, and we need to find what are the possibilities for X. If we remember, we always use inverse operations, and the inverse of squaring X is going to be square rooting X. And when we do that, we have to remember we actually have two possible answers here. We have +3 or we have -3, because if we did -3 times -3, we get +9. And if we did +3 times +3, we get +9. So we have to remember that there are more than one possible solutions to problems that have square roots as an inverse. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's say we had X squared equals 7. So our first problem here, our first example, X squared equals 9, was a perfect square. We love when that happens, right? But X squared equals 7, we know that 7 is not a perfect square. We are going to square root it here still to solve for it. Now we have that X could equal positive or negative square root of 7. This is an exact answer, okay? This is the exact number X can be. If they were looking for the approximate answer, we would actually square root 7, and we would have to round, because we know that a square root of an imperfect squared number can go on forever. So this would be plus or minus the square root of 7, which would be approximately 2.65. Okay, so we can have an exact solution or we can have approximate solution if we choose to actually square root the number. Depending on the directions are going to depend on the route that you guys go. Okay, so let's look at one more example. What if we had X plus 2 all squared equals 4? Okay, so in order to get started on isolating X, we are actually going to take the square roots of both sides, and that leaves me with X plus 2 equals 2, or X plus 2 equals -2, because as we learned over here, it could be positive or negative. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and still isolate X, and we would get X equals 0. And then we could do that over here, and we would get X equals -4. So our two solutions for this problem would be X equals 0 or X equals -4. All right, let's try one more together. This example is going to be 2x plus 1 all squared equals 25. Okay, so again, we're going to take the square roots of both sides, and we'd be left with 2x plus 1 equals 5, or 2x plus 1 equals -5. So we would go ahead and isolate x, and oops, that would be 4 here, divided by 2. We get x equals 2 on this side. Divide that by 2, and we would get x equals -3 on this side. So here in this problem, we would have x equals 2 or x equals -3. Okay, so we have a worksheet that you guys are going to practice. There is an answer key with it, just to kind of make sure that you feel very up to date on this skill, because we are going to be using this skill to help us complete the square this week. So have fun with it today. Let us know if you have any questions, and we look forward to hearing from you guys.